So thanks very much, everybody, for obviously having me here today. And as highlighted, I'm the key account manager at the Exeter. And as you can tell by my accent, I'm definitely further north than Manchester, but I'll be delighted to be here today. So I'm going to talk a bit about maybe back to basics. Okay, nothing wrong with going back to basics and looking at the objection handling side of things. It can be all difficult. You kind of get caught up in things. So sometimes just taking it back is all pretty good. So today, by the end of the session, we should have a better understanding of the most common objections you might get around income protection clients. That word income protection, everybody's like, no, right, okay. We're going to make it fun by the end of today. Being more confident as well in tackling protection objections in client conversations, and being aware of the tools and supports that you guys have got available as well. Okay, so it's not just about delivering this today and leaving you to get on with it. There's a lot of help and support out there to help you with your conversations with your clients. So we're going to look at some common objections. So we've taken a sort of list of the typical 8 that we would say is our most commonly typical objections. Feel free to take photos or anything, or the presentation maybe will be available later. So one of our most common ones is I have enough savings. Now 1 in 4 of us just now are using our savings to live a normal, relatively life at the moment with the cost of living crisis. So using savings, is that going to be a case going forward? Probably not. So that's probably one to really home in on. Mum and Dad will look after me. Now I know I don't look 37, but you know, 20 odd years ago, my mum and dad, I've been out the house 10 years, and if I was to chap the door and ask them for some money, I know what the answer would be. So again, the usual bank of mum and dad's probably not going to be there forever. Have they taken into account the cost of living crisis? You know, they're probably going through a very, very similar position. I'll use my credit card, okay? So credit card leading to debt, leading to, you know, even a worse looking life going forward. You know, do we want to be using that sort of kind of easy route out almost? It's still going to be there at some point, isn't it, to bite you in the you know, where. My employer will take care of me. What do your clients know about their employer benefits? How is their employer going to take care of them? You know, some employers don't even have sick pay these days. You know, if you're self-employed, for example, you're not going to have anything. Okay, so again, a lot of common objections. Income protection doesn't pay out. It's too expensive. Need to think about it, and it won't happen to me. Okay, that last one's me. I'll tell you a funny story if he's come over at my stand later. So the first 4, if you kind of look at the first 4, you can clearly see the client has an understanding, okay? So they know they might need money set aside. Again, they might need a backup plan, but the bottom 4, they're the complete polar opposite, okay? So the bottom 4 objections they're a stage behind, okay? They don't even have an understanding of the need of protection yet. So on the risks they might face, so they need the most sort of convincing, okay? So I'm going to help you hopefully overcome those objections today. So, like I said, we'll put them sort of into categories: your need to understand and your need not to understand. So I have enough savings, so how far is your savings going to take you? Okay, so we did a recent survey, 2,000 self-employed, 2,000 employed. It's a good read. It's on our website. I definitely don't have enough time to sit and go through the full kind of report with you, but it's staggering enough that there was about 18% of the people surveyed had at less than £100 savings. Okay, that's not going to get you much these days. So how far is your savings going to take your client? Mum and Dad will look after me. Again, have we looked at the cost of living crisis? Have we considered, if we use a credit card, what sort of debt that's going to amount to? My employer, so again, what is your employee benefits? What do you get from your employer? Are they going to take care of you for a certain amount of time? The government are going to look after you for 6.5 months and give you £90 odd a week. I mean, in a normal, relatively normal person, that's not even going to scratch the surface to pay a mortgage or rent. It's not going to pay out. Again, this is more about the need and understanding of the actual product itself. We paid 93% of our claims last year. Okay, so if that doesn't highlight the importance of having this types of cover, what is going to Now, we're going to look at the income risk calculator in a second or two, but we do have a report that actually highlights the importance of having this sort of protection and actually highlights where we're paying out. So you can have these sorts of conversations with your client saying, actually 40% of people that claimed last year was due to musculoskeletal, so your back pains, your broken bones, your minor illnesses, things like that. 7% of people were claiming on mental health last year, 21% were claiming on COVID. Okay, so again, really going into the sort of detail from these types of reports. It's too expensive. So again, there is so much flexibility around about these types of products now, where we've got the limited claim periods where your clients can take a shorter term or they can cover themselves full term. So realistically, we should be able to tick the majority of the boxes. People feel like they need to take the full 60% of the cover to make sure that that's what they're ticking the box for. But do they just want to be covered for their essential bills or their mortgages? So again, we can cover those types of products as well. I need to think about it. Again, the longer the client waits, the higher the risk, the higher the premium. You guys are all experts. You all know the younger someone takes something, or as soon as they take something, they're going to be protected. Okay, so again, these types of things, you never know when it's going to need. Statistically speaking, the client's got a higher chance of their being off their work sick versus the risk of them dying. And again, this goes towards these types of reports. Not even dying, even become critically ill. Income protection is one of the easiest products to claim on. You just need the one definition. Your client only needs to be off their work sick or have an accident or an injury. They need to be signed off. The most undersold product, yet probably one of the most easiest to claim on as well. Again, looking at the statistics that just from us as a provider and the rest of the industry. Going back to it won't happen to me, so that good old Superman syndrome. Again, just as I said, you've got a higher risk of your higher chance of you being ill rather than the sort of kind of risk of you dying. Again, that's the statistic speaking. I know people can pass away, but again, they need to sort of understand. So it's just about educating clients on what their objection is and trying to sort of overcome it with something they're going to understand. So Income First Toolkit. So this is, if any bit of information to take away from today, this is going to be basically your tool to use with your clients. Now, I did print one off, and I know you are not going to see it, but I just wanted to sort of show you what it's going to look like. So the income risk calculator, if you pop over to the stand, I'll be able to kind of go through it. But what this is highlighting is it's highlighting your client. Okay, it's going to ask you some bits of information round about their lifestyle. The majority of the stuff you'll probably already know from talking to them, doing a bit of a fact find, doing the income and expenditure. And it produces a report based on those findings, and it actually shows what their life would look like if they did have income protection in place, if they didn't. I did one on myself yesterday, and I thought, wow, okay, that is, even just doing it on yourself is pretty good. It highlights how much they've got coming in, how much they've got going out. What's the gap going to look like if they were going to be off their work after their sick pay arrangements for 3.5 months if they get it? What statistically chance have they got of passing away versus the chance of them being off their work sick? It also looks at the short-term debt they can get themselves in just 12 months. Now, yesterday when I did my reporting myself, relatively normal lifestyle, nothing too majorly fancy, but when my outgoings go out and I was to be off my work and after my sick pay ends and I've used my savings, in a year I can have a short-term debt around £12,000 by not having a steady income coming in. So again, it really does the work for you. It's a nice visual for your client. It sells income protection for you as well. Again, it sells the product. So again, it's really worth popping over and coming, and we can have a chat about that over at the stand. So what else have we got on offer for you as well? So again, we've got a client approach email. So again, all this toolkit's available on our website. And it's there for you to help you guys as well. So again, we've got some approach emails. So if you want to target specific clients and you need help and how to position that, how to get the sort of need over, we've got all those support there. Sales guide, whether it's customer facing sales guides, advisor sales guides, again, it's all there. We've spoke about the risk calculator, and we've got a lot of research on there as well. So like I said, we've just done some recent research on self-employed and employed, and really looking at the kind of overall metrics of how long can people survive. You know, what percentage of people in the UK have income protection just now? Staggeringly enough, 91% of people do not have some form of income protection. So if I was to look at this room and see how many people in this room just now, and you were to put up your hands, which I'm not going to ask you to do, again, it might be quite staggering. So that's only 9% of the UK that actually are covering themselves for, you know, should the worst happen if they can't work. Objection handling tips. So again, probably just to sort of kind of touch on what we spoke about today. Again, that's all there to sort of be there and support you with the tools. And we've also got reasons why editor. So again, if you need anything for your suitability or anything, you can pretty much pick and choose what you use from that. So what's next? So again, please use, as Claire highlighted, you know, if you want to speak to anybody, you want a bit more information, you have got a range of BDMs over the UK that are able to there help and support you. Added value benefits, again, we're able to discuss along with that, your income protection, private healthcare, life cover, whatever it means that you're able to get it. Now, we can book in product sessions for you. It takes 30 minutes and just gives you a bit of an overview on what we've got on offer. Okay, so please use these sort of added value services to help you in your business. You guys, as I said, are all experts, but you want to make sure that you're getting the best support as well. So hopefully, if I've done my job right, you'll have a better understanding of the most common objections that you do have surrounds income protection. It can be a trickier conversation, so hopefully that's helped. Be more confident as well in tackling the sort of protection objections, and be aware of the tools and support and stuff that is on offer to you to help you with your conversations, because that's what we want to kind of reach out and make sure that you have those at the end of the day. I think that is it. Thank you very much.